Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be focusing on the vision card Maidens of the Rose, and I'll be doing an analysis and evaluation of the vision card itself. Without further ado, let's begin. For the vision card Maiden of the Rose info and stats, from what we know at maxed, fully maxed level 99, you're gonna get 326 HP, 150 attack, and 20 luck. Those are pretty good stats, mostly on the attack part and good on the HP. Anything over around 300 HP is gonna be a decently, not decent, but like pretty better than average vision card for HP as a stat. 150 attack is actually pretty good. That's actually on the higher end in general. Anything above, I believe, 120, 130 is definitely much higher on the offensive side. 20 luck is actually more of a kind of a quote-unquote more unique stat where usually we don't get stat bonuses on the average. Having 20 here, especially for what the card is used for, is very nice to have. So from what we know, on the unit effects, which is bestowed effects, only for the person who uses the vision card themselves, dark units are going to get 30% attack at max, and the additional effect, if you are Venera Winter, or Shadow Lynx, you get a total of either you get a total of 10% light resistance and you get 5% agility. So here's what I have to say. 10%, you might think light resistance is, oh, that's not bad. However, keep in mind there are other vision cards that already give 10% light resistance when it's bestowed, such as like the Fleeting Blossom vision card, stuff like that. 5% agility for yourself is also not too high, plus these units outside of Venera Winter are actually already very fast. So it's like, it's gonna be a small boost. It's not as great as you might think it is. For the party effects, we have it's gonna be all mono dark, and we're gonna get a whopping 35% luck, which is very nice to have. However, we get a very small amount of only 18% slash resistance penetration. Unfortunately, it's much more lower than like Aigaon is at least 20%, but it's only for bestowed, but Exorcist vision card is 35 for your entire party. So only 18 for a mono dark only vision card is really lackluster. Lastly, the effect when it's fully maxed as a vision card, you get 35% dex. Dex as a stat is actually mostly used for quote-unquote critical hits, more so than like accuracy or any other like stat. So it's nice to have. However, I'd rather we get maybe 35% slash resistance penetration and then have like only, I don't know, 15 or 20% dex from the second edition of the party ability, rather than how it's set up right now. Obviously, the 35% luck is very nice to have. 18% slash resistance penetration is, it's alright, but it really just feels so short-ended. And the dex is just like little sprinkles on top of it. So let's keep this video short. So we're gonna go over the good, the bad, and the worst for this. So for the good, as I said earlier, it has actually pretty good offensive stats for HP, attack, and luck. It's definitely not short in that department. Unfortunately, it doesn't have like something like defense, agility, or spirit, but I mean that's fine. The HP, attack, and luck itself are all way above the average of most vision cards. The bestowed effect for dark to units is 30% attack, excuse me, not 35, and 30% is actually pretty good, especially on a bestowed, because you can stack it further with other vision cards as well. The bestowed effect for Winter, for Venera Winter and Lynx is actually decent stats. 10% light resistance is not a large amount, but it's at least something to help them mitigate some damage from light units, as well as the 5% agility. Obviously, we wish we wanted more, especially because it's only limited to those units, but it's at least something. It's not nothing. The mono dark luck percent of 35% and gives a slash resistance penetration to dark teams, and the sprinkles on top, as I said earlier, 35% dex, does help your team deal a little bit more damage. It's not going to be as good as like 35 slash to your team. However, the luck in general is very good for evasion and accuracy, just in general, which is what I put at the very bottom. It's good for evasion and accuracy pretty much due to the luck stat. The slash resistance penetration kind of helps you deal a little bit more damage if you have dark slashers. And obviously the dex helps a little bit for critical rate. So the bad, it does not give your party any damage or mitigation benefits. What I mean by this is that you don't actually gain damage by getting slash resistance penetration. Penetration for resistance attacks are a little different, that it helps you deal guaranteed damage, but it doesn't raise the ceiling of your damage. So if you had like 3,000, if your attack is going to do 3,000 damage, you're not going to deal higher than 3,000 damage with this vision card. Now if you had something that's like, we'll go with like Omega, which has like the slash attack up, then you'll do more damage than the 3,000. But it's like, it's a little different. So it doesn't actually give you more damage, it just guarantees you deal more damage. Like, not more damage, sorry. It guarantees you deal more unmitigated damage. There we go, sorry. It's only 18% slash resistance penetration, as I stated earlier. If it was at least 20, 25, even 35 because of like Exorcist vision card, I would argue it's actually a very good vision card. However, because we are limited to only 18%, I'd say it's not really good enough to cover the other vision cards that are dark mono. The stats in the bestow effect are mostly good for only physical units. As you saw from the vision card itself, it has no flexibility to other units outside of mostly only physical attackers. You can't really slap this vision card on a mage or like black robed Helena. Like, it will not give enough benefits to that unit if they're magic. The bestowed effect for Venera, Winter, and Lynx, it's not really unique. As I said earlier, like the Fleeting Blossom vision card already gives you 10% and gives your team more acquired up in general. Obviously, this vision card specifically would be better in terms of offensive abilities, but the bestowed effects are not unique in any way, unfortunately. The luck percent is actually very good. It does mean that it has to directly correlate to evasion and accuracy, meaning the flexibility of the vision card is going to be much lower in terms of units. You're not going to just slap this vision card onto like Dwayne or something and expect him to start evading. He's not going to be evading if that's what you're hoping for. Also, it doesn't give him any guaranteed accuracy like abilities, so once again, if he actually went against another evasion team that was also properly built like him, he still will be missing attacks. Situations like that, usually for luck percent stuff, you're gonna have to bank on either abusing the benefits of it pretty hard, and there's only a few units currently that can make use of that. As I also stated earlier, mono dark teams already have a significant bonuses from other vision cards. For example, Diablos and Omega vision cards are insanely strong on dark teams for mono. It's a little hard to fit in Maidens of the Road here just for the luck percent and like the slash resistance penetration. It's really so due to who and what you want to fit on your team. Because Diablos and Omega are more suited for physical damage wielders already, if you slap in this vision card, it's gonna mostly help. That means you're gonna be running mostly like a 3-party physical damage team instead of having a little bit of balance. So let's go to the worth. I gave it a total of 3.5 out of 5 because if you don't want the long version and you hate hearing me talk very long, the too long didn't read is that it's a niche card for dark evasion units that can use it, and most of the units that can use it now are kind of countered easily, unfortunately. Like Venera and Lynx, they're very squishy, even like with their EX. Garvel, Black Robed Helena, Yuna, and Sakura can still easily like just hit them with the like 100% hit ability and just call it a day. However, this vision card does have potential in the future. Now, for the people who want more details and me going in on it, keep listening now. But basically, if you use this vision card, you're going to have to heavily invest into evasion on the dark teams if you want the maximum benefits. Obviously, because evasion works, that if the more evasion you stack, it has scaling or like increasing returns. That means you should be running a Shiva vision card in your team if you're going to be running this because of that extra 20 evasion. It's going to be definitely very useful, and it will help your evasion teams. Because the stats are kind of mediocre from like the bestowed effects, units that are using it, as I said earlier, are going to they're gonna have a lot of trouble with Yuna, Helena, and Garvel. They all, Yuna, Helena, and Garvel all have 100% hits. They all hit very hard. And the bestowed units, Venera, not Venera Winter, but Venera and Lynx already have like not good magic resistance. They're gonna take significant damage from it, if not just outright die. So having only 18% slash resistance penetration is mediocre. It does help, but it's not at the same tier as Igaion or at least Exorcist. So it's kind of sad that it only works for dark, and it's not even as good as the other ones that are more flexible. So you have to keep that in mind when you're thinking about this vision card. Lastly is going to be the 30% attack and luck percent onto dark bestowed units means there's actually a future potential unit that can use this vision card with very good good success, which is going to be Knight of Ruin Stern's his EX version, which has approximately at max same build as 2B. If you had the Dark Chimera Esper with the evasion panels, you'd have approximately 10 to 15 less evasion than 2B's current maximum setup, which is actually pretty nice. You can actually use Stern, regular Stern, with his Shadowrunner ability to get a high amount of luck. However, he does not have the same amount of evasion because he does not have Blade Soul and innate evasion like panels and stuff. So you can use it, and if there is a new dark unit that comes out that is also evasion and is physical damage, you can use this vision card with them. But until then, right now, most of the meta units for that is not gonna be strong enough, is what I would have to say. So in the end, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. And we arrived to the end of the video. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video and my analysis on the vision card, please leave a like and subscribe. I wanted to try and keep this short as much as possible because I make videos too long, and yeah, I just hope you get the information that you wanted to hear from me pretty much. And yeah, until the next video, peace out.